Welcome to Radiant Heart Yoga. I'm Jane, and the practice that I'm going to be guiding you through is, I've called it Strengthen and Stretch, and it's for strengthening and stretching the front and the back of the core. So there'll be no standing poses, it's all very low down, so it's also a very grounding practice, so you can use it for that purpose as well. And so let's get started. You might need a blanket or a towel or something like that, but everything else, you should be fine. In fact, I'll move that over here. So you're going to begin lying down on your belly in a pose called crocodile pose or Makarasana. So you're going to take your feet nice and wide, and you're going to turn your feet so that the inner edge of your feet is dropping towards the floor. And then from here, you're going to make a pillow for your head with your hands. And as usual, when we start our practice together, you can spend a lot longer in this first pose than I do. And just let yourself really relax. Let the whole of the front of your body drop into the mat. Let your head be completely supported by your hands. And then let the back of your body begin to expand as well. So you're looking for a sense of expansion and of relaxing and softening everywhere. Relaxing your shoulders, making any adjustments that you need so that you can do that. And then take some breaths here, starting to establish your connection with your breath. And this is a fantastic pose for doing that because you can actually physically feel the movement of your breath. So as you inhale, you can feel your belly pressing into the floor and kind of lifting the back of your body up. And then as you exhale, everything softens back into the mat. So just take a few more breaths here. And then if you need to stay longer, stay longer. Otherwise, just beginning to move with me. So just going to walk your hands a little bit closer to you and bring your feet so that they're hip width apart. And then on an inhale, going to lift your head and shoulders as high as you can. And then as you exhale, lowering back down, dropping your chin towards your chest. And then inhale, lifting up, and exhale, lowering down. Just two more. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lowering down. And then coming up onto your forearms. And we're just going to start to put a little bit of pressure down through the tops of the toes and through your hips or your pubic bone, so that you're engaging the backs of your legs ever so slightly at first. Start waking up the back body, but also we're stretching the front of the core as we're doing this. And then you can either stay here for a few more breaths, or you can feel compression in your lower back. If that's okay and you can take a little bit more, then you can keep your elbows where they are, but move your hands a little bit wider. And then you're just going to straighten your arms. It may not be fully, you may not fully straighten your arms, but we're just going to be here for a few breaths. Excuse me. Got a bit of a tickle in my throat. So lowering back down, bringing your forehead to the mat and bringing your hands back to the sides of your ribs as if you were going to do a cobra. So we're doing a sort of a variation on a little baby cobra. So roll your shoulders back, hug your elbows in, And you're going to inhale, lift your head and shoulders, and lift your right leg. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale and exhale. So working the back of the body as we stretch the front. Maybe coming a little bit higher each time. One more to each side. And release. And then you're going to press yourself up onto all fours and stretch your right leg out to the right and come on to the heel of that foot. So we just stretch out the legs a little bit and then walking your hands forwards, keeping this left hip over your left knee, lifting your sit bones up and then dropping your chest towards the floor or your forehead towards the floor. So this is a little bit of a back bend, so I'm going to keep lifting my hips up, but it's also a really nice stretch for the right leg. I'm magnetizing my arms towards one another and just lowering my chest towards the floor, but not my elbows. And then from here, just going to walk your hands back up. And then this is a little bit of core. You're going to push the floor away and you're going to lift this left leg, bring it forwards and sit behind it. And it doesn't matter how you get there. And then just bring this right leg forwards. And then from here, you're going to hug this left leg in. And as you inhale, you're going to lift your chest, roll your head back a little bit. And then exhale, rounding in, bringing your third eye towards your knee. And then inhale and exhale. So it's a little bit like cat and cow, where you're just doing it in this position. Inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. And then from here, you're going to extend that leg out. You're going to come back onto your forearms. And then from here, you're going to pull your knees in towards your chest. Keep lifting up out of your forearms. And then from here, flexing your feet. A little bit of core work now for the front. You're going to stretch your legs forwards as you exhale. And then inhale, pull them back in. Exhale, reach them forwards. Keep lifting your chest. And inhale, bring them in. So you can have your legs closer to the floor or you can have your legs higher up. That is easier. And I think that is easier as well. I think this sort of halfway point for me anyway, but I think it depends. It's an individual thing. But as long as you can feel that you're having to work your core pretty hard. Just one more. And then slowly release. You're going to come all the way down onto your back and bend your knees. And then from here, you're going to extend your right leg up and keep your hands down by your sides. And then from here, you're going to inhale, you're going to bring this right leg closer to you. And then as you exhale, you're going to lift your hips up, just roll your shoulders underneath a little bit and stretch that leg forwards. Keep lifting your hips, pushing into this left foot and really engaging all of the back of that left leg. And then lower your hips down, inhale and exhale, stretching, lifting your hips. Two more, inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. And then from here, lowering your hips, hugging your knees in. You're going to rock up and see if you can rock up and not let your feet touch the floor. So you're going to rock up and hold. And then you're going to wrap your hands under your knees and bring your hands together in a prayer position. You're drawing your thighs closer towards your chest, lifting your chest at the same time, cinching it around the waist, and just starting to wake up the front of the legs that help you with your core work. And then maybe holding the backs of your legs and extending your legs up. And then from here, you're going to either cross your ankles, or you can move your feet back and come back onto all fours and all the way down onto your belly again. So we're going to do a few different ones, with some of those poses need to be repeated on the other side. So from here, you're going to lower all the way down, forehead down, untuck your toes, push the tops of your toes in to the floor, and then interlace your fingers behind you. And from here, you're going to lift your shoulders away from the floor, and you can keep your elbows bent, or if you can straighten your arms, you're going to straighten your arms. And then feet stay down. On an inhale, lift your head and shoulders. And then as you exhale, you're going to tip your hands to the left as you look to the right. Inhale back to centre, and exhale to the other side. Inhale back to centre, maybe lift a little bit higher, and then exhale, lowering down. Bringing your hands back to that cobra position, and then as you inhale, you're just going to lift your head and shoulders, and as you exhale, your head and shoulders will come down, and you'll just lift your legs. And this becomes like a rocking action. So you're really stretching now the front of your core and working the back. One more. And then bringing your forehead down, and you're going to make a fist with each hand and just rock so that your fists come into your hip creases. And then lifting your shoulders away from the floor. As you inhale, you're going to lift your legs as high as you can. So your head stays down. You're just really using the muscles in the back of your legs, in your lower back. And then slowly lower down. And then from here, lifting back up. And this time, I'm just going to move over here a little bit. Going to extend your left leg out to the left. And walk your hands forwards again. And then lifting your hips and dropping your forehead towards the floor. And then walk your hands back in. And just like we did before, push the floor away. Bring this right knee forwards. And then sweep that left leg in. So now your right leg is bent, and you're going to hold onto this thigh. And then from here, you're going to inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, rounding it. Inhale, lift. And exhale, rounding it. Two more, inhale, lift. And exhale, round in. Last one, inhale, lift. And exhale, round in. And then from here, you're going to bring both legs in, and you're going to wrap your right ankle over your left, pull your thighs in towards your chest, and you can keep hold of your legs, or you can extend your arms out and keep pulling your knees closer towards your chest. And then from here, you're going to slowly roll down, keeping your ankles crossed, bringing your feet over your hips, and you're going to hook your feet around one another and then pull them as if you're trying to pull them apart. And then from here, you're going to reach your fingertips up, big breath in, And your exhale, you're going to lift your head and shoulders, lift your hips. Little pulses. Working the upper and the lower abdominals. On the exhale, with your lift. And then you've two choices. You can lower your head and shoulders down and pull your knees in towards your chest and lift your head and shoulders up and bring your knees towards your nose. Or you can come into shoulder stand position and drop your knees to your third eye, and then wrap your right thigh all the way around, and you can stay here, or you can lift up into shoulder stand. And then you're going to just have a single wrap if you've got a double wrap, and you're going to slowly lower your hips down and rock your way up, and you're going to hook your left arm underneath your right thigh and clasp your hands, bend this left knee, and then straighten your right. So it's like a variation, twisting variation of boat pose. And then from here, get hold of anywhere on your legs, the back of your legs, and open your legs out, lifting your chest, lifting your heels, opening your legs as wide as it's okay for you. And then from here, bringing your legs together and crossing your left ankle over your right, coming back to this position. And then slowly rolling down, extending your legs up, reaching your arms up. And if it bothers your neck, you can interlace your fingers behind the back of your head and do the same movement, but you're just supporting your head. So hook your feet and pulse if you're trying to pull your feet apart. Big breath in, and as you exhale, lift. And see if you lift your hips as well. So each time you exhale, it's a little pulse, lifting, using your upper abdominals to lift your torso, and then lifting your hips is going to work your lower abdominals. Just a couple more. And then lowering down, and you can either wrap your left leg around your right and just draw your knee and your nose towards one another, or you can rock up or roll up into your shoulder stand, bring this left knee now towards your third eye. And then you're going to unravel, so you've just got a single cross, and slowly lower and see if you can lift up without putting your feet down, and then thread your right arm underneath your left leg and clasp your fingers, and then bend in this right knee and straightening your left leg. Just pause in there. And then slowly release, rolling down and extending that left leg up in the air. So just finishing off, balancing on each side. So we do the same thing on each side. So roll your shoulders under a little bit. You can bend your elbows. You're going to inhale, draw this left leg a little bit closer, and then exhale, lift your hips and stretch that left leg forwards. Inhale and exhale. Two more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. And then again, drawing your knees in and rocking yourself up. So we're going to finish off with some stretches. So you're going to open your legs out into a swaddle. And you can elevate your hips on something to make it a little bit easier to get your spine upright. Flexing your feet, and then from here, just going to slowly start to tip forward. Going to keep sliding your sit bones back behind you, lengthening your spine so you can slide your arms out along your legs. You can hold on to your big toes. You can have your forearms on the floor, or if you're more upright, you can have your fingertips behind you, and you're just going to take a few breaths here, stretching out the legs, keeping a little bit of engagement in the front of your core. Maybe have a little rock side to side. I really like that. It kind of frees up the groin, and it also releases the sides of the waist and where your QL muscle is. And maybe you can come a little bit lower then. And then walking your hands back up. And you're going to bring the soles of your feet together. I'm just going to turn around because you're going to lie back down again. So you can choose. You can either have your feet further away and forward fold into like a diamond shape here. Or you can bring your feet closer to your pelvis and use your elbows to encourage your legs to press towards the floor and just tip yourself forwards here. And then you're going to take your hands underneath your ankles. Just make sure you've got enough room behind you. You're going to roll back, keep the soles of your feet together. And then you're going to start to push, so let your head and shoulders come back down. And you're going to start to press your feet towards the floor. And you're going to get a really lovely stretch through your wrists, your inner arms, and your shoulders, and obviously your hips are still going to be being stretched. And then to finish, you're going to cross your right thigh over your left, just like you did before, and just shift your hips to the right a little bit. Drop both legs to the left. Get your shoulders so they're in line with your hips. And then from here, reach your right arm out to the right. Coming into a gentle twist. coming back to centre, switching left thigh over right, scooting your hips to the left, dropping your legs down. So if you want to double wrap and be in your eagle legs like you did in your shoulder stand, you can choose that version as well, or you can just single wrap, reaching your left arm across to the left. And then coming back, and you're going to finish your practice in Shavasana, just making yourself as comfortable as you can. Having some deep breaths, sighing the breath out. And now it's the back of your body that's dropping into the earth first. Feeling as though it's almost like a puddle, just slowly expanding outwards. I like to think of it being petrol, and the way that it sort of seeks out all the space so that it can expand and spread out. And you're just going to stay again as long as you've got, really allowing your body to soak up all the goodness, all the magic from each pose, letting it do its work, allowing your body to memorise all of these new patterns of movement and release of tension. And then when you're ready, you're going to draw your knees in, and you're going to roll to your right side. Just taking a couple of breaths here. And then pressing yourself up to a seat. So, thank you for sharing that practice with me. I really hope that you enjoy it and you feel as though you're really doing some of that stretching and strengthening for your core all the way around, front and back. So, if you like that video, there's plenty more on my channel, so maybe subscribe or like the video, or any comments or any suggestions for future practices would be really welcome. I'll see you again. Namaste.